Hey, what's up, everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here once again. It is that time of the month. Time to talk about my favorite albums that were released this past month, April 2025. What an absolutely stacked month this was. Lately, when I've been doing these, like this year, I've been trying to limit to only 15 albums, where in previous years I did 20 albums. This month I'm doing 20 because I was just having a really tough time narrowing this list down. So I got 20 for you this month. And even that being said, there's still some bands and albums that I thought were pretty decent that I'm not including on my list because I had to draw the line somewhere. So with it being that good of a month, I'm going to whip through these early albums on the list fairly quickly, but I'll spend some more time talking about the albums as I get into the top 10, which would be the ones that I like a little bit more. But you know the deal by now. If you're new to the channel, I do this every month at the end of the month, talk about my favorite albums that were just released. And as usual, I want to get your comments down below. Let me know which albums I missed, which ones you recommend. I'm always looking to explore more stuff, so let me know what albums I should go explore, and hopefully you can take away a few albums from this list for you to explore as well. So without further ado, let's just kick this off. Coming in 20th place, I'm going with some UK death metal with Cancer and their new album Inverted World. So UK death thrash legends, maybe more of an underground band. They never really rose to prominence of other death metal bands from the era like Bolt Thrower or Death or anything in that vein. But this is just a straightforward, head-banging death metal record. No frills, nothing new that's gonna like blow you away. I'm sure this is not gonna go down as a classic. I only think it's like an okay album. It's not that good. I was really picking between this album and the new Benediction album for which one I was going to include on my list. I guess Benediction would have been in 21st place. I kind of had the same vibe from both albums. They're both pretty decent, straightforward death metal releases, but neither of them really blew me away. But if that's your kind of thing, definitely check out the Cancer album. Check out the Benediction album too. But yeah, maybe nothing too outstanding, but nonetheless a solid slab of death metal. Up next in 19th, I'm going with Valhalore and their album Beyond the Stars. This is some epic folk metal from Australia. There's a lot going on this album. I get major Winter Sun vibes from this, just with like the orchestrations and just the style of songwriting, very epic in scope. Maybe it's not really anything that I haven't heard before from other bands doing the same thing, but that being said, it's a very enjoyable album from start to finish. I don't want it to sound too negative. It just maybe doesn't stick out from the pack of other similar sounding albums, but nonetheless, if anything I just said sounds like it might be up your alley, definitely go check out this album. It's at least worth listening to for sure. Up next in 18th, I'm going with a Belnejoum and their album Dark Tales of Zarathustra. This is a debut album. This is symphonic black metal. It's an international project. What grabbed my attention was that it's got George Callias from Nile on drums. So when I see that he's playing on a symphonic black metal album, definitely has my interest there. The drumming is absolutely superb on this album. I will say the opening track to kick off this album, great song. I wish the rest of the album was on the same level of quality as that, because then this would be way higher on my list. It's not to say the rest of the album isn't good, but that first song just really kicks ass. The rest of it, still pretty decent, but once again, kind of like what I said with the last album, it's not necessarily anything you haven't heard before for the style, but it's still a killer album with outstanding drum work. Up next in 17th, I'm going with Phantom and their new album Tyrants of Wrath. So this is some speed metal, thrash metal from Mexico with a little bit of a blackened edge to it. This sounds like it would have just been plucked directly from the 80s. It's just got that 80s thrash revival sound that a ton of bands are doing. It's got the nice rasps, but then he's got the high-pitched wails as well, which just puts a smile on my face when he really hits those high notes. It gives it that unique sensibility of like enough retro vibes, but they still bring in their modern touch as well. Yeah, very typical of the genre for sure, but it's a ton of fun. Definitely worth a listen. Up next in 16th, something completely different, going with Felgrave and the new album Otherlike Darknesses. This is a one-man experimental death doom album, but it's very hard to describe it with just that. There's so much happening here. There's so much experimentation and just bits of different genres thrown in there. Like there's splices of black metal or technical death metal, and then you've got acoustics, you've got clean vocals, you got the harsh vocals. This one just came out this past Friday. The stream was out on Thursday, but there's still a lot to unpack here. Like, I've only listened to this a handful of times. I feel like with more listens, this one has the potential to rise a lot higher. I just haven't spent enough time with it, and I can tell that it's the kind of album that will be more rewarding the more you listen to it, because you'll just keep unpacking these little nuggets and different riffs will stick in your head. But yeah, very complex album with very long songs, but yeah, very good. Definitely go check out Felgrave. Up next in 15th, I'm going with High Council and their new album, Cruel and Unusual. This is some traditional heavy metal from the USA. This album is just full of fun, catchy metal tunes, metal anthems. You've got the Iron Maidenisms throughout the album, like definitely paying homage to what I'm assuming is one of their favorite bands, because it really sounds like Iron Maiden in a lot of places. But all that being said, it's just a ton of fun. It doesn't always have to be something that's new and unique. If you can execute good songwriting, then the songs are going to stick in your head and they're clearly having fun with it, then I got no problem with that. And I think this is a pretty fun album overall. High Council, Cruel and Unusual. Up next in 14th, with Structure and their album Heritage. So this is some atmospheric death doom. This is technically a one-man project from the former guitarist for Officium Triste. He did bring in guest vocalists from Officium Triste, so obviously there's a lot of similarities with that project. It's got a very similar sound and vibe, yet they're really expanding it here to do his own thing and create his own style. I don't want to say his own style, that's speaking wrong. I just mean to kind of separate it from the Officium Triste stuff. It doesn't sound exactly the same as that. It's really heavy on the atmosphere here. I love the vocals and the song structures. Structure, see, there you go. Maybe that's where they got the band name. I don't know. Terrible, terrible joke. Sometimes I can't help myself. But yeah, nonetheless, if you're into death doom, especially stuff that's heavy on atmosphere, give this one a listen. You will not be disappointed. Up next in 13th, we're going to go with some power metal with Trick or Treat and their new album, Ghosted. This band is from Italy. They are very silly and a ton of fun. I mean, they started out as a Halloween cover band, and they're a little bit over the top. It's a little bit cheesy, but it's going to make you smile. It's just a ton of fun. You can tell they're having a ton of fun. The guitar work is still great. This features Alessandro Conti from Twilight Force, used to be in Luca Turilli's Rhapsody, so you know you're getting great vocals as well. And yeah, it's just got some great fun songs that do not need to be taken too seriously. My favorite on the album is probably Blood Moon, which features Adrian Cowan from Seven Spires. As soon as I see that, I'm going to be interested in the album because I'm a huge fan of hers, and anytime she's doing vocals on a song, I'm probably going to check it out because it's bound to be good. It's not to say that's the only good song on the album. There's a lot of really catchy, fun power metal tunes here. If you just want some mindless fun and you like power metal, definitely go check out this band. Up next in 12th, I'm going with Ancient Mastery and their new album Chapter 3, The Forgotten Realm of Xul'Gothar. This is a one-man epic symphonic black metal band from Austria. I was absolutely a huge fan of his first two albums, being Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And to be honest, this one kind of disappointed me a little bit. It's still a good album. I mean, I'm still putting it relatively high, maybe middle of my list here this month, but it let me down a little bit just compared to the expectations that I had based on the first two albums. Whereas the first two albums were really heavy on the keyboard and synth use and really brought in a power metal influence and some female vocals in spots, some of that style is missing here. He kind of stripped back the sound, stripped it down, and it's more of just a melodic black metal album, still with some hints of keyboard in there, but it's a little bit different style than the first two albums, and I'm all for changing it up, not doing the exact same thing, but I just expected a little bit more. These songs aren't resonating with me as much as I was hoping for, but nonetheless, it's still a pretty good black metal album. I'm still going to follow this project with whatever he does. I mean, this guy's in a million bands. This one probably being my favorite of his, but yeah, just because I'm not ranking it higher doesn't mean you shouldn't check it out. It's still worth a listen. Up next in 11th, I'm going with Venator and their new album Psychodrome. So this is some more traditional heavy metal, this time from Austria as well. This would be for fans of like any new wave of traditional heavy metal bands such as like Traveler, Ambush, stuff in that vein. It's got that really retro style, retro swagger, however you want to say it. It's just full of hooks, and it's exactly what you want in a traditional heavy metal album, at least in my opinion. It's got good vocals, great guitar work, and it's just a ton of fun, good stuff. I'm saying that a lot about a lot of albums this month. Maybe there's a lot of albums that were a ton of fun, but maybe as I get into the top 10, the fun will disappear a little bit because it's loaded with a bunch of Doom records. Not all the way through, but there's a ton of good Doom records this month, so maybe the fun is ending. There might still be one or two fun ones in the top 10. I don't know. Now that I'm looking, not too many of them are fun. Most of them might bring your spirits down. But nonetheless, I'm getting off track. Let's get into my top 10, my 10 favorite albums from the month of April. So, kicking it off in 10th place, I'm going with Tomorrowum and their new album, Beyond Obsidian Euphoria. This is some progressive black metal from the USA. It's got really long and expansive songwriting throughout. It's really complex and very emotional. It will take you on a journey. My nitpick for this album is that it tends to drag a little bit. Some of these songs are a little bit longer than they need to be. Like this album is 70 minutes. There's a lot going on that I love here, but maybe it could have been edited a little bit. But I don't want that to be too much of a negative because overall this is a very enjoyable album and a very successful follow-up to their great debut from a few years ago. I think this is another band to kind of keep your eye on. They're doing great things. Maybe they'll edit some of their songs down a little bit on future releases and they might release something that is truly outstanding, but this isn't far off the mark. It's still very good. Putting it in my top 10 for a reason. Up next in 9th, going with Pagan Altar, the new album Never Quite Dead. So UK Doom legends. I mean, they've been around for a long time. Their singer had passed away a few years back, so they did recruit new vocalist Brendan Radigan, who you will know from bands such as Savage Oath, Summerlands, Magic Circle, and a ton of other projects, and he fits the band like a glove. I mean, this was a really underground doom metal project from the 80s. They didn't really gain popularity until much later than that when they re-released their first demo. But it's just still, even to this day, it's got that old school flair. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these songs were written previously and they're just kind of redoing them with the new vocalist. But yeah, it's got that nostalgic feeling, but with a modern twist as well. This is another one that just came out, so it's got potential to rise. I've only listened to it a couple times so far, but it's damn great. If you're looking for just a classic old school Doom record, look no further. Go check out all Pagan Altar stuff and definitely go check out their new album. Up next in 8th, another album that literally just came out, Hate Forest, with the new album Against All Odds. So some one-man black metal from the Ukraine. This is the guy from Druk, but doing his own thing here. I mean, if you've heard anything by the band before, you pretty much know what you're in store for here. It's not going to be much of a surprise. This is a Hate Forest record. It sounds like a Hate Forest record. It's just full of misanthropic riffs, ice-cold tremolos, and got that nice atmosphere. The more guttural style vocals that he's used to doing in this band. And yeah, so he's not necessarily doing a whole lot new or different on this release, but if you've been a fan of anything he's done in the past, I'm sure you will like this. This one could rise higher too. It just came out. I barely listened to it, but it was going to make my list just based on how much I like some of their previous albums. And yeah, we'll see in time if this one climbs up even farther. All right, moving this along. Up next in 7th, we're going to go with some death metal with Lick and a new album, Necro. This is some old school death metal from Sweden, and that is probably the best description I can give of this band and their sound. If you just think and imagine in your head old school Swedish death metal, you know what this sounds like. It's got equal parts Dismember, and then even the melodicism of At the Gates thrown in there in a few spots as well. Like, there's a lot more melody on this album than I was expecting. Like, it's not that they didn't have that in their sound before, but they've injected it with even more, but it's still keeping in that old school Swedish style, and I just love the approach. It's simple yet effective, and it's just catchy death metal the way I like it. It's got the right amount of melodicism, but the right amount of hooks, and I just love this style Swedish death metal. So yeah, if anything I just said sounds like you might enjoy it, go listen to every album this band has done and definitely listen to their new one. Up next in 6th, gonna go with some symphonic metal. This one might be a surprise. Going with Epica and the new album Aspiral. So a big name in symphonic metal. This band's been around a really long time. They're from the Netherlands, been going strong since the early 2000s. This, I will say, is somewhat of like a guilty pleasure band for me. I've never been too vocal about liking this band because I don't feel like it's something that generally I would gravitate towards. It's so accessible and commercial and almost poppy. But damn it, if these aren't just catchy, infectious songs that are stuck in my head. I can't knock them too much, even if it's a style I don't necessarily listen to a bunch. These songs are goddamn catchy, and I can't get them out of my head. I'm really digging this album a lot, way more than I thought I would. It's not that I haven't liked any of their stuff in the past, but this one really surprised me. Maybe their last couple albums I didn't really go back to a ton, but this one I feel like I will actually go back to quite a bit. It's got the great angelic vocals, still some sprinkles of harsh vocals in there as well, and these choruses are so damn hooky and catchy. Yeah, that's all I need to say about it. Guilty pleasure or not, it's a good album. Just missed out on my top 5, but not by much. Now let's get into that. I need a sip of water first, because I'm getting parched. And then we're going to get into my absolute favorites of the month. Alright, so into the top 5. My 5 favorite albums of the month. In 5th place, we're going to go with some Canadian content with Listless and their self-titled debut album. So this is a one-man band. This is depressive black metal from Canada. Like I said, the man behind the band is the guitarist and vocalist from Liminal Shroud, who's one of my favorite Canadian black metal bands at the moment. This is more on the depressive side of things, so think for fans of bands like Austere or Woods of Desolation or None. Anything in that vein, if you're into those bands, you will probably get some enjoyment here. And of course, if you're into Liminal Shroud, you should check this out as well. There's clearly some of the same styles going on because it's the same guy, but there's enough of a difference here that I understand why he wanted to expand and do something different under a different moniker. Yeah, it just puts it in a different frame. It's still got the Liminal Shroud style of songwriting, but in a different frame of mind, if you will. And I'm really liking this a lot. This is another one that just came out, but it's killer stuff. Go listen to Listless. All right, next 3 albums are all Doom albums, which is a rarity for me that in a top 5 of a month I would have 3 Doom albums, but that's just how it shook out, and that's how much quality Doom there was this month. But what order am I going to put them in? In 4th place, I'm going with Messa, the new album, The Spin. So this is some Italian Doom, but that's not even a fair description. They really have a unique sound. There's so much different stuff going on here. It's like a smorgasbord of influences, whether it's the straight ahead Doom or rock or dark jazz or black metal or post-rock. It's just somehow they mash all this together and make it work. They've really developed their own unique style and sound and identity over their 4 albums. And this one really hits the mark, in my opinion. It's interesting and engaging throughout. The sound production is just sublime. You can hear everything perfectly. Whoever mixed this album, cheers to you. It just sounds great. All in all, this is just an excellent Doom record. And what I really like about it is that you don't really know what to anticipate because they have so many different influences going on. And I really applaud them for putting out an outstanding album. Up next in 3rd, like I said, more Doom and some more Canadian content this time. Tribunal with the new album In Penitence and Ruin. So this is some gothic Doom from Canada. Like I said, this will appeal to fans of My Dying Bride or Draconian because it does have the female vocals as well as the guttural male vocals. This is their sophomore album, really builds on the foundation of their excellent debut album, but this time around they did change it up a little bit. I'd say there's way more of a focus on the female vocals this time around, and there's nothing wrong with that because she absolutely kills it. Like I said, it's still got the harsh male vocals as well, but the songwriting is just really on point here. This is a melancholic triumph. Yes, it's going to bring your mood down, but that's what you want when you listen to this kind of music, and I just absolutely love the emotional toll that this takes on me when I listen to it and the different feelings that it evokes. Really well done album. That's why I have it in third place. All right, 2 more to go. The next one is another Doom album, my favorite Doom album of the month, and that is Behölder with their debut album In the Temple of the Tyrant. So this is some epic Doom with a splash of power metal in there from the USA. This features the vocalist from Judicator. So this is 2 months in a row where he has released an absolutely killer album. So good job to you, John Yellen. You are killing it in the last couple months. But I will say about this album, like, this is a style that not enough bands do, in my opinion. Maybe a lot of bands try it, but not too many succeed at mixing epic Doom with power metal. There, of course, are exceptions and great examples like Memento Mori. If you've never heard that, go check it out. Features a vocalist from Candlemass. Sorcerer is another great example. And now Behölder is like, they absolutely nail this style. These got the soaring choruses with great vocals. You've got tasteful solos and just meaty, epic Doom riffing throughout this whole thing. I absolutely love this album. Can't get enough of it. If you're unfamiliar with this band, definitely do yourself a favor and go check it out. If you like epic Doom at all, you will not be disappointed. All right, and that just leaves one. My favorite album of the month is a black metal record. Big surprise, eh? That's usually what's number 1 on this channel. And the band will probably not be a surprise if you have followed this channel at all in the past. This band featured in my top 10 of last year with their debut album. They're already turned it around with a sophomore album. That is Bloody Valkyria with their new album In Our Home Across the Fog. So this is another one-man band, this time from Finland. This is epic, melodic, atmospheric black metal. Think like Summoning meets Moonlight Sorcery with some melodicism of a band like Kalma. Like, yes, it's got all those Finnish touches, but I just really love the way that he puts these compositions together. It sounds retro yet fresh at the same time. It's got tasteful keys that will remind you of a band like Summoning with the dungeon synth-esque parts, but then it's got these such excellent, memorable melodies, and just the song construction knocks my socks off. It's just great. This is 2 albums in a row that are absolutely top tier. Like I said, I put his debut album in my top 10 of everything from last year, and this one probably has the potential for this year so far. I know it's only April, but I can't get enough of this album. Absolutely outstanding stuff. Do yourself a favor and go listen to Bloody Valkyria if you have not. So anyways, that's my list for the month. Those are my picks. Let me know down below what you thought of them, and definitely give me some additional picks of stuff I may not have heard. And until next time, Hammerheart Mellow Reviews out.